Good morning, Year 2. It is Thursday, the 11th of February, and this video is for the Year 2 maths booklet. So today, it's our last day working in this booklet. I'll explain a bit more about that later. And we're looking at page 23 today, and we're carrying on with measure. But we don't need our booklet to start just yet. We just need our whiteboard and pen ready to get warmed up. So Mrs. Wood has got 2 dice on the board. I'm going to roll the dice and I want you to add together the 2 numbers that I have rolled and write the number sentence and the answer on your whiteboard. Are we ready? Okay, let's go. On your whiteboard, find the answer to 3 add 2. So we're just adding 1-digit numbers. 3 add 2, just to get us all warmed up this morning. Let's go again. 2 add 1. So you can write the number sentence or you can just write the answer. 2 add 1. 5 add 4. Notice Mrs. Wood has always started with the largest number as it's easier to count on the largest and add on the smallest. 5 add 4. 5 add 2 more. So 5 and 2 more. What do we have all together in total? Okay. Oh, double this time. Double 2. 2 and 2. 2 add 2. 2 and 2. 2 add 2. Okay. 5 add 2 more. So 5 and 2. Total what? What is the total of 5 and 2? How many all together? Okay, next up. 3 and 2. So 3 add 2. What is the total of 3 and 2 all together? So if you're unsure, it might be easy for you to count the spots or largest number in your head, adding on the smallest number with your finger. 3 and 1. So 3 add 1 more. 1 more than 3. And the final one, 2 and 1 more. 2 add 1 or 1 add 2. Okay, well done, Year 2. Don't forget to send pictures of your warm-ups as well as your work in your books. So as well as just sending us photographs of how you're getting on with your activity, we'd love to see your warm-ups as well. Okay, so we're carrying on thinking about measure. So on Monday, we started looking at measure. So today, we said we're looking at page 23. And today's learning question says, can I order, so that's the important word today, order units of measure. So we're thinking about units of measure and ordering them from smallest to largest, smallest to greatest, lightest to heaviest, shortest to longest, shortest to tallest. And then we're also looking at comparing measurements as well and see how much more one measurement is than another. So on Monday, we started looking at the different units of measure. So let's have a little recap. So when we are measuring the length of something, so how long or how short or how tall something is, what unit of measure do we use? So if we're using a ruler or a meter ruler stick, what unit of measure do we use? We measure in what? Can you remember? We measure in centimetres and metres. Okay. What about then if we are measuring the capacity and volume? So how much a container holds and how full and how much is inside the container. What would we measure that in? We looked at these at the start of the week. Okay, our containers that measure capacity and volume. And if we look at the scale, we measure those in milliliters and litres. We had a little look at Mrs. Wood's hand gel. And I said to have a little look around the house. I know, Savannah, you did that, well done. A little look around the house to see the different units of measure that you could find. So we measure capacity and volume of what a container can hold in milliliters and litres. What about weight then? If we are finding out how heavy something is or how light something is, so if it's light or if it's heavy, what are we measuring in then? You might have some scales in your kitchen that could tell you the answer to this as well. So we are measuring in grams and kilograms if we are measuring weight. Now fine, this was a tricky one. What if we are measuring temperature? So how hot or how cold something is. We measure in degrees Celsius and we use the symbol here, the letter C, with the little circle above it. So those are all the different units of measure. And then we went on to look at the different units of measure. So if we're measuring length and width, we said we would use centimetres and metres. So let's have a look at the difference and recap the difference between centimetres and metres. So can you remember how many centimetres make 1 metre? So if we're measuring the length of something that's quite long, we would then convert from centimetres to metres. How many centimetres are in 1 metre? If you know, write it on your whiteboard. How many centimetres make 1 metre? Okay, did you guess correctly? So 100 centimetres make 1 metre. So, but the important thing to remember there is metres are greater than centimetres. So metres are larger than centimetres. Okay, so there's our metre rule stick. So if we can't remember how many centimetres are in 1 metre, if we can just try and remember that metres are more than centimetres. Okay. What about measuring volume then and capacity? So we've got milliliters and litres. Okay, but which is more? Tell your grown up. Are litres more or milliliters? Litres are greater than milliliters. 1,000 milliliters makes 1 litre. So Mrs. Wood's got today my bottle of Coke. On the back it says 500 milliliters. Okay, that is smaller than a litre. That's actually half a litre. So if I've got a 2-litre bottle of pop and one of my smaller bottles of pop, litres are larger than milliliters. So if we can just remember that litres are larger than milliliters. They're the largest unit. Okay, grams and kilograms then. So when we are weighing, if something is heavy or if something is light, then we are measuring in grams and kilograms. But can you remember how many grams fit into 1 kilogram? Kilograms are heavier. So again, if we can remember that kilograms are more than grams, it's 1,000. So let's just recap then. Meters are more than centimeters. Litres are more than milliliters, and kilograms are more than grams. So your learning task, your Mrs. Wood's challenge from home yesterday, was you had to say which was more. So if you completed our home challenge, well done. We're going to go through the answers now just quickly. So I asked you, which was more, 7 kilograms or 7 grams? Now, kilograms are more, so 7 kilograms is larger than 7 grams. Okay, 5 centimetres or 5 metres, which would be the longest? 5 centimetres or 5 metres? You should have said 5 metres. Metres are more than centimetres. Okay, 3 litres or 3 milliliters? You should have said 3 litres because litres are more than milliliters. So thinking about today's learning then, we're ordering measurements. So at the top of your page, on page 1 today, it asks you to order, starting with the lightest, these masses. So our first part of our lesson is looking at ordering different units, whether that's grams, kilograms, centimetres, metres, litres or milliliters. So it says order these measurements shortest to longest. So we're looking at metres and centimetres here. Just tell your grown up which one is more, metres or centimetres. Metres is more. So we want to order these shortest first to longest. So if meters are more, centimetres are less. So we're going to start with centimetres first of all. So let's have a look at all of those units, all of those measurements that have got centimetres in. Okay, so just check that you can see them all. There we go. We've got 1 metre, 5 centimetres, 3 metres, 25 centimetres and 5 metres. So let's start with the centimetres because we know that centimetres are shorter than metres. So where's my shortest measurement that contains centimetres? Okay, I think I found 5 centimetres. I can't find anything smaller that's got centimetres instead of metres. So 5 centimetres is my smallest. Can you spot any more measurements that contain centimetres? Okay, 25 centimetres. So although 25 is a greater number and a larger number, these other measurements are metres, and we know that metres are bigger than centimetres. Okay, so we're left with metres now. We've got 1 metre, 3 metre and 5 metres. So what's the next smallest measurement? So 1 metre would be next because 1 is smaller than 3 and 5. Okay, 3 metres. And then my greatest would be 5 metres. So hopefully you've had a go at that on your whiteboard and you got those correct as well. So I ordered them from the shortest to the longest. Okay, this time then, we are measuring from lightest to heaviest. So we're measuring mass this time, how heavy something is, its weight. So have a look on the board, and I would like you to have a go at this on your whiteboard. So which is more, kilograms or grams? Hopefully you said kilograms is more. So that means we need to start ordering with grams first, then kilograms. So I've got 1 kilogram, 3 grams, 5 kilograms, 20 grams or 30 kilograms. What are we going to need to start with? So we're going to need to start with grams first of all. So let's have a look. Where are my gram measurements? Okay, so there's grams, there's grams. The rest are kilograms. And I know that kilograms is more, so they will come later in my order. Okay, so you should have had 3 grams, then 20 grams. Although 20 is a greater number than 5 and 1, those are kilograms. I don't think I've got any more grams, so I need to now move on to kilograms. So I've got 1 kilogram, 5 kilogram, and 30 kilogram. So my next smallest number is 1 kilogram. Okay, the next one should have 5 kilograms. And the heaviest is 30 kilograms. So if we just remember that kilograms are more than grams, it'd be great if we remember how many grams make a kilogram, but we just need to remember that kilograms are more than grams. Okay, so this time we're looking at capacity and volume. So we're measuring in milliliters and litres. Just tell your grown up which is more, milliliters or litres, which is more? Which is more? Litres. So we talked before about bottles of pop. So we said that this one is 500 millilitres, but you might have in your house the big litre bottles. Okay, so I'm going to start with millilitres because I know those are smaller. But I have got some 3-digit numbers here. I've got 100 millilitres and 250 millilitres. And it's hard to get my head around that those are going to come before 1 litre and 2 litre. But these really are 2,000 millilitres and 1,000 litres, because once we get to 1,000 millilitres, we call that litres. Okay, so millilitres first then. So have a go on your whiteboard. So you can pause now and have a go at ordering those. and then we'll go through them together. Okay, so we should have had first, millilitres are more than litres, so we should have had 100 millilitres first, then 250 millilitres, and then we should have had 1 litre and 2 litres. Okay, well done if you got those correct. So that should help you to answer the first part of today's activity. It does give you a little tip there. It says 1 kilogram is heavier than 1 gram. So just remembering which is more, centimetres, metres, millilitres, litres, and grams and kilograms. Okay, so that should help with the first part of today's task. Then, further on into your activity this morning, it's asking you to compare weights and ask you how much longer, how much taller, how much heavier. So not just identify which is heavier, how much more. So I'm going to show you now how to help you to complete the rest of the activity today. So I've got a car, and it tells me that the car is 5 metres. I've got 5m here. So it tells you that my car is 5 metres. How many metres long is my lorry? 12 metres. Okay. It's asking me how much longer is the lorry than the car. So I know the lorry is the longer, but how much longer? So we're going to work that out using a number line. Imagine the number line is a little bit like our ruler and finding how much bigger 12 is than 5. So I'm going to start with my smaller number down here, 5 metres. And then 12 isn't too far away from 5. So I'm going to count in ones to get to 12 and see how much more I needed to add on to find the difference. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many jumps did I need to make? So you can fill them in now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So how many jumps do I need to make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the lorry is 7 metres longer than the car. So I started with my smaller number, and then I jumped until I got to my larger number, my larger measurement, and I counted how many jumps I need to do to find how much longer it was. That's quite an easy one. Let's try the next one. So I've got here a bedside table, and that is 50 centimetres tall. I've also got a dining room table that is 90 centimetres tall. Now I know which one is taller. So I know that the dining room table is 90 centimetres tall, so it's taller than this one. But I want to know how much taller. Now I don't think I can count in ones all the way from 50 to 90 in ones. That's going to take me a long time. 50, 51, 52, 53. It's going to take me a long time. So what could I count in instead? I'm going to count in tens. So using the number line, as before, like a long ruler, I'm going to count in tens from my shortest measurement to my longest measurement, okay? So I count in tens from 50 to 90, and that should give me how much taller the table is to the chest of drawers. I'm going to start at 50, so 50 centimetres. That's how tall my bedside drawers are. I'm going to stop when I get to 90. I'm going to count in tens. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. So how many jumps have I made here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 60, fill your jumps as well, 70, 80. And each jump, I was jumping in tens. Okay. So how much taller is the table than the chest of drawers? So 10, 20, 30, 40. The table is 40 centimetres taller. So the table is 40 centimetres taller than the chest of drawers. So using my number line like a ruler and starting from the smallest measurement to the largest measurement. Okay, so we're looking at mass now, so we're looking at weight. So I've got a Milky Way. Now Milky Ways are nice and light, they're all fluffy inside. So we know the Milky Way is going to be the lighter object on the scales. And in fact, it's only 22 grams. None of my treats are in kilograms here. They're not heavy enough. Both are in grams because grams, remember, are lighter than kilograms. And then my Smarties, oh, they're a little bit heavier. They're 87 grams. So I don't want to know which is heavy, which is lighter. I want to know how much heavier are the Smarties than the Milky Way. So where do I need to start? I'm going to start at 22 grams. Okay. Now, can I count from 22 all the way to 87 in ones? That's going to take me an awfully long time, year two, isn't it? So what did we do for the last question that we could do again here? Count in tens. And we know how to count in tens. So we're going to start at 22. I'm going to count in tens from 22, 22, 32, 42. And when we're adding 10, the ones stay the same, but the tens change, okay? So you can have a go on your whiteboard following along as well. So 22, 32. We're going to stop when we get to 82. 32, 42. So you fill the numbers in after, or you can do them as you go along. 52, 62, 72, and 82. Okay. So I haven't finished yet because I need to get to 87. But I've counted in tens to 82. I can't go any further because if I did 10 more, that would take me to 92, and that's too much. That's too far. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, sorry, 60. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I know my answer is 60 something grams more. And now I need to go from 2 to 7. So on your number line, you can count from 2 and jump from 1 to 7. We could do this part in your head. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is 5 more than 2. So I need to keep 5 in my head. And I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then I had 87. 7 is 5 more than 2. So my answer is, so I had 6 jumps of 10 and then 5 jumps of 1. So my Smarties are 65 grams heavier than my Milky Way. Okay, so that's quite tricky. So in your activity today, it's asking you how much longer the brush is than the comb, how much longer the donut is than the key, and how much more liquid is in the watering can than in the bucket. So it's asking you to compare the measures in centimetres, so which is longer. Then we've got weight, so which is heavier and by how much heavier. And then we've got capacity at the bottom, and it's asking how much more liquid is in the watering can than the bucket. So we know which is more, but we've got to work out how many more. So you're going to need to use a whiteboard to work out on your number line, counting in tens, what the difference is, how many more. Okay, so that's it for our packs now, year two, because after half term, we're going to start those brand new packs that you have been given and that have been dropped off at home. And tomorrow, I'm going to have a separate task for you that's not in your book. So we're going to be looking at measure again tomorrow to finish the week and to finish our last maths lesson before half term, but it's not going to be in our book. And after half term, we're going to start from scratch in our brand new maths books. Okay, year two. I can't wait to see how you get on. Today was a little bit tricky, so I'm looking forward to seeing your photographs. Bye-bye.